As a nation, we are obsessed with our hair. It's a special relationship and it's complicated. If you wanted it back,
you would feel a bit conscious, people looking at you and noticing you're losing your hair on top, and I just thought, flip this, you know.
Whether it's short, long, curly, straight, bleached or balding, hair is a huge part of who we are. From good hair days to the very worst, everyone has a story to tell. A 2012 survey showed that half of Irish men under 30 believe they are suffering from premature hair loss. Even our own favourite hardman, Love Hates Nidge, is feeling hairy about the loss of his locks.
This bald thing is getting to me.
Only because you look for it. You wouldn't notice it.
It's because I have my head shaved. I know it's there.
Russell Altman has a busy job in a printing company, a wife and a newborn baby, but he's also got plans for another new arrival, a thick mane of hair to replace his thinning thatch.
I noticed that my hair was thinning a lot faster than others. Like, for example, my father, he didn't start losing his hair until he was in his early 40s. I was in my early 20s, so it just varies with different people. My brothers, they all seem to have very good head of hair on them. I'm the one who just seemed to go bald very quickly. Naturally, you'd get slagged, you know, a few friends or people messing around. You know, you can kind of deal with that, and some people mightn't be able to deal with that. You know, it might actually have a big effect on people and it might knock their confidence down hugely. You would feel a bit conscious, people looking at you and noticing you're losing your hair on top, and they'd be more focused about you going bald rather than about the meeting you're in or socialising. They'd be more focused on your baldness. So enough was enough, and I just thought, flip this, you know. Usually I'd start cutting my hair shorter, maybe like a 2 or 3 blade, trying to keep my hair short to try to blend in the baldness. And I do feel that being bald at a young age does actually make you look a bit older, especially now that I have a family. It'd be a bit of a bonus to have a bit of hair for my child growing up.
Dervla, Russell's wife, doesn't have a problem.
I love Russell for the way he is now, so whatever way he looks, I'll still love him, and he'll always be gorgeous to me.
Even so, Russell decides to check out his options.
Good, thanks very much.
I'm going to take a look at the density here. And that's very good, you've got great density.
I realised there was something that can be done about hair loss, so I decided to go in and have a consultation. You can actually keep your existing hair, and by replanting it on the top of your head, so they take it from the back and they put it on the top. So I decided that this could be a good turning point for me.
Yeah, that's good.
These are your lateral humps.
Yeah.
And they're fine at the moment. If we transplant the top here and these drop away, then you're not left with a hair transplant that looks out of place, but it will look natural if you never ever come back and have another hair transplant.
Good, I'm happy enough with what they had to show me in terms of the design and, you know, the structure of how a hair transplant is going to be done.
Great, okay.
I think I'm going to go ahead with it. I'd be happy enough to get it done now, and I've gone this far, and I think I'll push forward and just go for the transplant. A hair transplant does cost a lot of money. It depends on the individual whether they want to justify paying for it, because it can cost up into the tens of thousands. Maybe they want to go buy a flash car, or maybe they want to get a hair transplant. It's up to the individual.
We both talked about it on and off for a while, and then he just said, OK, it's now or never, and he just said, I said, well then bite the bullet and go for it.
See the hair on top now, that might go a bit more in 5 or 10 years' time. When I tell people I'm getting a hair transplant, some of them are shocked and some are actually like, fair play, why not? My family and friends are supportive, and they said, you know what, why not go with it? You know, it's a new thing that people can do now.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it'd be good fun, yeah. I'd say, for example, my dad now, looking back at the time, yeah, he would have gotten a hair transplant if you could have it done the same way back in the day.
And you didn't consider a comb over, no?
I was thinking of a comb over, but...
yeah, the Irish Open starts tomorrow. Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Best luck.
Thanks.
Hi Russell, how are you?
How are you? Well,
32-year-old Russell has finally decided to do something about his receding hairline. Today is his hair transplant operation.
Today we're going to transplant hopefully over 4,000 follicular units, which is probably about 8,500 actual hairs. And these are living organ transplants, you must remember that. So the hair will actually grow on his head for the rest of his life. We'll design a hairline that's more in keeping with a mature man, because it has to look natural when you're 50, 60, 70, even 80.
Before Russell goes under the knife, the entire team have one more chance to redraw their hair plans.
There are 2 surgeons, there are 4 nurses, and the total team is 18 people. So it's quite a large organisation. But if you think each graft is a living organ, so if you like, we're going to do 4,000 living organ transplants in one day. So it's quite an amazing feat, really, when you think of it. And we get about between 95 and 98% of the grafts actually growing.
The ladies check out Russell's dimensions, measuring the scalp that will be surgically removed for the transplant operation.
You okay there, Russell?
Yeah.
The benefits of a hair transplant are primarily inside the head. And I've never had a man come back to me and say, I'm more handsome, I'm more attractive, or I'm better looking. I never hear that. I hear the words self-esteem, self-confidence, contentment, and peace of mind. We see an awful lot of young men in our clinic here, and some of them are very distraught and upset about their hair loss, and understandably. And I've had patients as young as 14 in here. It's extraordinary.
With a couple of injections, Russell's head is anaesthetised and the transplant can now begin.
My advice to a young man who's losing his hair is get proper medical advice. There's really good medical treatments, finasteride and minoxidil, and if you research those, bring the information to your own family doctor. They're both approved by the FDA in the United States for the treatment of male pattern hair loss. Not everybody needs a hair transplant.
If you're in any way squeamish, it's time to look through your fingers now. The team makes its first incision in order to take a strip of scalp from the back of Russell's head. A total of 26 centimetres is removed. This strip will be dissected into slivers and the follicles will later be replanted. Once the strip is removed, the team staple the wound together. There's nothing quite like a piece of easy listening music while stapling a scalp. The wound is then wiped clean with anaesthetic solution. Dr. Collins then gets to work with a needle and thread in preparation for the next stage of the process. Wakey, wakey, Russell.
Just sit down and do it.
Okay, how are we doing?
Good.
You did a good snooze there, didn't you?
Yeah, that's a bit of a rest.
Yeah. Did you have any pain or anything?
No, it's happy enough. I actually slept through it there, you know.
So we're going to take you inside now and we'll start making the little incisions where we're going to put the grafts.
Perfect.
The team are preparing for the next stage of Russell's hair transplant. The strip of Russell's scalp is cut into slivers. These are then dissected by the cutting technicians into grafts. These grafts come in follicular units of 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 15 highly skilled technicians working on this stage of the process. A steady hand is key.
The procedure costs an awful lot. We charge €10 per graft, and there's an average of 2 hairs in each graft. So just say we get 4,000, that could be as high as €40,000. Now, that's an enormous amount of money, but Russell's a young man, and that hair is on his head for the rest of his life. But Russell has an awful lot of hair loss, so he needs a lot of hair.
Russell sits back and relaxes as the team get on with the transplant. So, after over 12 hours, the transplant is finally finished. With a little bit of cleaning up, Dr. Collins surveys his handiwork. Has Russell taken another nap?
You can just bring your witness on that side and take a seat. You feeling all right?
Yeah, perfect.
Just take a seat.
Sure.
So it's gone very, very well.
Good, yeah.
We got, we didn't quite make the 4,000, but we got over 3,743.
Seems a lot, I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge amount.
Yeah.
And that's nearly 9,000 actual hairs. How are you feeling?
I feel grand, yeah, fine.
So, what does Russell think?
That's mad. Gosh, that's unbelievable, I suppose. Looking at it now. Fantastic. Didn't you, Russell?
A lot of these little hairs now over the next 3 or 4 weeks will fall out.
Yeah.
But the roots are embedded underneath.
Right.
And after 2 weeks, nothing will shift them. But it takes about a year to a year and a half before it comes to full maturity.
Yeah. After the procedure, I got home around 8 o'clock or so, and I was up all night. You know, you couldn't go sleep for a good 12 or 14 hours. It was pretty tiring, spraying my hair every 15 minutes or so. That was kind of the toughest part of the whole day and night. To be honest, that's not bad at all.
So, 8 weeks later,
some of the hair was falling out a little bit, but that was expected, so it didn't worry me, and I wasn't concerned whatsoever. Some people say they notice a difference, but I know myself that it will take about 6 months to a year, or maybe a bit longer, to see the full results. But there is a little bit of a difference, but there's more to come.
Hi, puppy.
I think my little baby girl Willow has a bit more hair than I do at the moment, but maybe in another year or two I might catch up on her.
Did you get all your wind up?
I definitely recommend getting a hair transplant. If it's something that upsets anyone in their daily life, you know, definitely go see a professional and get a bit of advice on it. There's nothing to lose and it could be worth it.
and there you have it. Whether it's social or cultural, your profession or your lifelong obsession, hair, with or without it, we love it.